we're talking about Wonder Man, Simon Williams. A lot of people hadn't heard of him. He was kind of a I don't want to call him a background because as a comic reader, he was never a background, but he never really made it into any cartoons or media outside of the comics. So a lot of people really didn't know much about him. So he's a whole new thing.
It's our voices with your imagination. Our theories take us down endless rabbit holes. We give our fellow nerds something to consider at the gaming table. Follow us as the Nerd Pow Wow.
Welcome to the Nerd Pow Wow. Follow us on YouTube where we upload new videos every Friday, or check us out on your favorite podcast platform. We're also live under SeraphTheHost every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Spoiler warning, we do deep dives on characters, storylines, and theory crafting.
Before we dive into history and stuff, I just kind of wanted to throw out there that I really liked the way they did like the retro Wonder Man in the show. They showed like his old school retro thing and how he was being kind of reinvented with this. It kind of fit with what is actually happening with the MCU versus like this comic book authentic thing, and then a kind of a modernization on the character as they kind of recast him. So I thought that's pretty well done. He's had a lot more impact in Marvel Comics than most people would even realize, especially when you come to find out things that canonically in the 616, he and the Vision are the same person. The Vision was encoded with Simon Williams' brain patterns by Ultron when he was created. So they refer to each other as twin brothers, but they're literally the same brainwave they when you think of things like that, he becomes much more noticeable. He's had a plethora of superhero women. He's doing all right for himself. Scarlet Witch, the Wasp, Miss Marvel, not to mention a whole bunch of other non-super characters. So he's been interesting characters. He's an up and down character. He's had a lot of he's probably one of the most emotionally turbulent characters written in the Avengers comic lines, especially. So that makes him a little more interesting to me because it humanizes him a little bit more. But that's my brief little take on him before we get into who he is historically and stuff.
Yeah,
How about you guys? What have you guys read about?
So I've done a little bit of digging into him. I like that over time he's really grown over his appearance in comics. He starts off like he's a bad guy, he's not not great, and it goes
No,
from
not at all.
that to he's almost like a pacifist near the end. Like in some ways, like he's not out to fight crime. He's an actor. He knows what he wants out of the world. He doesn't feel like an imposter. It doesn't seem like anymore, and that kind of seems to come up that he kind of sucks at everything he does for a while, and then he works in through the through being a stuntman to being an action star, and really comes into himself. And he's more action star first and superhero second, which
Absolutely.
just the crazy images. You're out there walking around, and a tree falls, right, and along comes Hugh Jackman. He grabs the tree and saves you from it and says, "Hey, don't worry, citizen." It's an actor first, superhero second. So it's interesting stuff.
I
I
really
like the
do like
character
the evolution of the character because originally he was kind of easily manipulated. That's how he got in trouble. That's how he was a bad guy. He was just kind of being manipulated. He didn't do a lot of thinking for himself, and I think that's something he had to mature to do. And it wasn't until he finally became into his own and recognized himself without being influenced by everything around him that he really became what he is now.
I like that take.
So,
Yeah. Wayne, what
yeah.
about you, buddy?
So my first interaction with him was the Disney Plus series that just came out. Just reviewing everything about him after that, being an actor is maybe just a small part of him. And Disney decided, well, we're going to take this part of him, and this is what we're going to show. And that Disney series, the character I really liked was that Trevor Satterley. I think that's how you say his last name. That character, I love that character. I thought he was amazing. The Mandarin.
Yeah.
Yep. You can't go wrong with Ben Kingsley. You can never go wrong with Ben
So
Kingsley.
good.
I was like, I really like this guy, and it's like you look like he just has a sad face, and all of a sudden he perks up, and then just a great actor for one. I really liked it, and then just diving into Wonder Man. I mean, he dies a lot, but as you said, he really doesn't die. They all just
Yeah.
think he's dead. He goes in some type of ionic coma.
Yeah, they've kind of changed his powers a little bit. Like when he was a pure ionic being, there's no killing him. You could disperse him,
Mhm.
but he's not dead. He just needs to get his collection back, or collect himself. But now apparently he is infused with a PIM particle, an ionized PIM particle, which it's questionable whether or not he's actually has like flesh now. Like he didn't used to. He wasn't.
Huh.
He was just a. He was now he was energy. He's like a solid energy. Now it's questionable what exactly he is. They're still kind of developing that end of it. So we'll see how it goes. But I think the character is like I didn't like when they write him as a bad guy or when he chooses to work against the Avengers. But again, I
Yeah.
think that's when it goes back to what I said before. I think he was just for a long time he's really easily influenced. Like he's just not, some people call it like a squid or like Jabba would laugh at him and call him a simple-minded fool because he falls for Jedi mind tricks and gets pushed off the stage. But the it just he seemed like he was that, and then finally he was like, no more. I am who I am because he has century level strength. He's one of the strongest superheroes in the entire Marvel universe. He can go toe to toe with Thor, toe to toe with the Hulk. I mean, the Hulk obviously gets more powerful as he goes, but he's done all of this. He can do fisticuffs with the best of them, and and here he is choosing. Like they call him a pacifist, but honestly, I think he's just decided that violence isn't necessarily the first solution. He's willing to resort to it, and he's not afraid of
Mhm.
sticking up for himself. But
It's more
he's or
defensive than
others.
offensive. It seems like
Yeah, exactly.
if shit comes to him, he's gonna stand for what he believes in. But other than that, and I think that's kind of like if you don't know what you stand for, you'll fall for anything, right? And he really
Right.
kind of embodies that through his journey throughout the comics.
Mhm.
Now,
You know me, guys.
Yeah.
Go
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Wayne.
So I was just saying, I really like obviously the X-Men and just his interaction with some of the X-Men, Beast, and then also Rogue. He was trapped in Rogue's mind for years
Mhm.
until she decided to kiss Deadpool. Deadpool's healing factor basically freed him.
Yep.
So
They went to
I
somebody.
really enjoy the interactions with the X-Men. I guess he
Oh, yeah.
fought alongside Cyclops. It was and I think there was a few pages that he fought alongside Wolverine, even though they never really had any interactions other than that.
Well, he and Beast were very close friends. They lived
Yes.
together for a long time. And when the original Beast went evil and they cloned him, so now you've got a good Beast. And this Beast was the clone Beast. Memories is from around the time he was in the Defenders, and that was prime time. Him and Wonder Man, him and Simon being best friends. So that Beast when he came to be initially like went to Simon for everything, like, hey, what are we doing here? How are we affecting this? So they were they really rekindled their friendship in the comics, which was kind of cool because you don't see a lot of X-Men Avengers. You see where they get
No.
along, where they're kind of maybe like friendly, like even like Wolverine and Captain America seem like they have a lot of history more so than we even have seen necessarily.
Yeah.
But most of the time, it isn't much crossover other than Scarlet Witch. But with him, there's like a direct friendship, like a direct tie in there that makes sense for him to just show up in a X-Men comic, not because something was happening in his neighborhood, but because he was hanging with the Beast kind of thing.
Yeah.
Even though he stole Beast's girl, he
Yeah.
started to have a fling with Tigra.
Oh, that Wonder Man. Oh, he was a dog for. Oh man, we'll
lot.
get into some more stuff. Oh man, I didn't like how he did Vision dirty when it came to.
Oh no.
Yeah, he.
Oh yeah.
So I did want to bring up, since you were talking about his interaction with the X-Men and Wolverine and Beast, Wonder Man and Beast had the first same-sex male kiss in comic books.
Yes, they did.
Now I don't know as much about what was going on in the comics at that time with Beast, but I guess he was in a very manic phase, and so he saw his friend Wonder Man was just overfilled with joy and hopped up and gave him a big old smooch on the lips, you know.
Yeah, it was very platonic, but it happened. But it happened.
Yep.
So now I wonder if does that constitute as gay or bestialism? Bestialism. No, sorry.
Maybe a little bit of both.
Bestialism.
The Beast. But no, I think his interaction with the X-Men's cool. Something I found out as well. I have to pull this picture up. So, Wonder Man is depicted in the Avengers United They Stand. It's a 1999 comic book cartoon. It's like a 12-part series. The same voice actor that did Hawkeye in that did Gambit in the X-Men 96, the original X-Men. Just a little tie-in I saw there, but yeah. So Wonder Man has a role in that, where they go through his Ultron origins with Ultron and the Vision having his consciousness kind of put into the Vision. Now, John, you kind of said that he was the Vision was Wonder Man. Is it more like he just got like his personality, or how'd they play that? Like
no, he was in a coma like state after he was pretending to be an Avenger, basically working for his brother, the Grim Reaper. At that time it was Baron Zemo. He was working for Baron Zemo and infiltrating the Avengers. He was going to trap them from within, lure them into a trap, but then he got to know them and they were genuinely trying to help him. Let me back up a little bit. When he originally got his powers from Zemo convinced him that if he didn't get weekly updates of the radiation that gave him the powers, that he would die. So he firmly believed that he would die without it. And the Avengers, he told the Avengers this. He didn't tell them about Zemo, but he told them this condition. And they were actively all trying to help him. He was really touched by that, and he kind of befriended them. So he ended up sacrificing himself to protect them from Zemo. And what happened is he didn't get his updates then, and he goes into a coma-like state. So he's just sitting in Avengers mansion in this like coma. The Grim Reaper had his body. Other people had his bodies for a while here and there, but he was just sitting there at that time. Ultron was bringing the Vision to life and just conveniently used this brainwave patterns that were sitting there. So he basically they had uploaded Simon Williams into the machine previously. So he just downloaded Simon's entire mind, memories, and all that other stuff into the Vision body. So it's like a photocopy of Simon Williams. It's literally just a photocopy, a snapshot of his brain as it was at that time.
Nice.
So it was kind of, he literally woke up, and that's like you're talking about how he did kind of Vision wrong after Vision lost his emotions and stuff. But a lot of it was because it's kind of a belief that he already was in love with the Scarlet Witch. So the Vision gets all of his memories and ends up being in a situation more where he can interact with her, and those two form a relationship. So he kind of feels as if that were him in a way. So when the Vision effectively died and came back as an emotionless drone, he didn't have the same memories and everything as he did when he was Simon. Simon didn't want to re-encode him because he felt like that was just like making another copy of himself to then go live his life.
Yeah, but
it's kind of a weird situation.
but he got slapped good from Wanda, because he at first he's like, no, my brother, the person I refer to as a literal brother. No, you know what? nah, let's keep him not my brother anymore. Let's not bring him back. And I kind of get, like, the explanation that, I didn't have a choice in the matter before. I didn't have a say that my consciousness got encoded on this robot before. But now I do have a say, so it's different. I get that, but man, the way it was initially portrayed is kind of like, oh, okay, that's a little
Yeah, I don't.
gross.
I felt like the idea behind it wasn't written well because it made him seem really like shitty and greedy, but at the same time, you can't take a copy of his brain from back then. You're using his current existence. So you're not making the Vision. The Vision had experiences in that time between when he was encoded with Simon's mentality. You're not bringing the Vision back to life by using your brain and all of a sudden he remembers all this stuff. Instead, you're literally making a copy of yourself to put in your brother's body.
Yeah.
It's a little different. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
it's strange. Now, can Vision be programmed with all the memories and then rebuild his personality using the same brainwaves? Possibly. But is that affected by the situations that Simon has had in the meantime? I don't know. There's a lot of unknowns there that I wish they would have written in better to make him look less less like an asshole.
Yeah.
The one story I was reading about Wonder Man in his floozies, Abominatrix, Florence
Abominatrix.
Sharples. She's a scientist that turned herself into a gamma creature. So it was a romantic interest to Wonder Man, but she ended up passing away trying to cure PMS with gamma rays. And
Like,
what a interesting story, and who even came
no,
up with
just
that?
dumb.
It just
Like, I don't know, that whole storyline is just bizarre. I'm like,
and she mainly appeared in the West Coast Avengers comics. So that's where I guess she was in issue 21 for at least that one.
Mhm. Do you guys ever read any of the West Coast Avengers?
No,
I haven't in a while. I have before.
That was a great series. Because they were
There she is.
but they were like a real well, we just lost Wayne.
Yeah, my thing just
Video.
decided to turn off.
Wayne saw
We
Abominatrix
hear
and
you,
he's
Phil.
like, I'm out of here.
I saw Abominatrix and I'm like, out of here.
I'm gonna need some alone time. But
warts and all. My gosh.
but no, I don't even know what I was saying now. You just got like a shuriken there. What is what's that symbol? Oh, there he is. Hello again.
There we go.
Hello.
Welcome back.
I must have Vargas's camera.
Yeah.
It just randomly turns off.
This transmission
I don't know.
has been interrupted.
Oh, West Coast Avengers. Like they were a weird bunch. Like Iron Man had a different outfit. He had a white and red one that was kind of different. And it was Tony, but nobody thought it was Tony. Because which really made it odd. You had US Agent was part of it. And when he finally came back and tried to be a good guy after his failed Captain America stint. Hawkeye and Mockingbird. Hawkeye and Mockingbird were a couple at the time. So it was just like Tigra was in that, Wonder Man. It was just an interesting grouping because they didn't necessarily there was not a lot of synergy between the characters, but they kind of made it work. I don't know, it was an interesting grouping. Like they got thrown together more than they went and formed themselves. I liked them. Did you guys? What's that?
So, are you familiar with when he went against Hulk? Because obviously that was a stalemate. But what set them off to actually go at each other? Do you happen to know that comic?
Well, the ones that I remember him fighting the Hulk were when the Hulk was separated from Banner for a bit, and then he went back, and it was during the whole Hulk busters. Everyone's trying to stop the Hulk. You had every single Avenger fighting the Hulk. That's what I remember him most going toe to toe with him. The one-on-one fight, I don't remember specifically when there was a one-on-one fight. I just know that he's just categorically his strength is on par
Yeah.
with a non-enraged Hulk.
And so they say
Um,
that he's pretty level with Sentry.
yeah, yeah. I mean, he's got they literally now kind of make that the class 100 strength. They also throw things in now to a Sentry level strength,
Mhm.
which I don't know if it just exceeds that or they're trying to like put a little like caveat as greater there. But he's considered to have Sentry level strength, which is astounding for someone who's doesn't necessarily want to fight.
Yeah.
Just kind of
Now,
cool.
speaking of that, Seraph, were you able to go to Marvel.com and find the stat bar for him?
You know what? I
I
I didn't
I'm
I
just
didn't I didn't do that, but I should. I should check that out. See what
I'm
Yeah,
just really curious about how many sevens he has.
I would be interested as well
I
for
know his
sure.
strength is a 7, but I don't know what else would be there. The other thing about him that's kind of neat is his powers have evolved. Like when I said earlier, he was in that death-like coma state because he wasn't getting those treatments. That wasn't actually why. It was his body was still further mutating from the treatment. So when it fully recognized or fully developed, he was fine. They had him brought back to life with voodoo, so he was walking around like a zombie for a while, thanks to the Grim Reaper and stuff. But
Yeah.
that was a little weird. But
That's
basically, he was
back in the
just
days they couldn't call them zombies either, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah.
The
He
comic
was.
book administrator or
They didn't even
whatever.
call him. Yeah, and they called the voodoo. They called it the Hoogans,
The
which I
Hoogans.
think is a legitimate term. Um, uh, but I wasn't familiar with it before then. But yeah, and but his powers have always further developed. Like he can fly now. He didn't originally have the other. Wasn't originally able to fly.
Right.
Now he can
You have
fly
a
a great.
jetpack.
Yeah, he used the jetpack. He could leap, and then he just used the jetpack as an assist when he was up there.
So that is a question. Yes, he got the ionic energy, but what was his reasoning for volunteering to do that?
He was he'd gotten busted for embezzling. The Enchantress, Zemo thought he was a good candidate for testing with his new ionic rays to give powers. So he enlisted the Enchantress to go and get him out of trouble. She basically enchanted the entire jury, etc., and he got off. And so,
Interesting.
being thankful for that, he subjected himself to the testing for Zemo. He was all
Wow.
along. He was designed to be a weapon by Baron Zemo, so that Baron Zemo could infiltrate the Avengers. Here was this guy with this like good story, seemed like a good guy, but was
Mhm.
easily misled or manipulated. So he was using him as a patsy. So it was really interesting. But yeah, like I said, he's had some really bad costumes through the years, like the one in that picture there. I really hated that green costume. Oh, and
With
it's another thing he did in Guardians of the Galaxy uh, series. And it was way in the way in the future. It's an alternate universe, but it's way in the future Marvel universe. Um, what's the name of his characters? Hold on. He was still alive. His ionic forms. He was still alive. He's a little older. Had a gray beard, but um, he had a different name. He went by shit.
And he's
The
had pretty much
comic.
every energy ability under the sun. His
yeah,
abilities don't seem super consistent, I guess. And I guess that probably has something to do with the way he views himself and his mental state. I think that heavily impacts the way his powers kind of manifest and he uses them as well. But they kind of show that pretty well in the TV show. I think that he doesn't have a good grasp of the control of his powers. He can lose control, which is interesting the way they did that in the show.
Yeah, his power base in the show is radically different. He's never had those like force waves or shock waves type things, which is fine. I mean, he's an unknown character that leaves them, or a little known character, so that leaves them a lot of play, a lot of room for to make him. Because I mean, let's be honest, we don't need another super strong guy that can fly and is really hard to hurt. We have a lot of those in the MCU. You know what I mean? So you need guys,
Easy to
you need
do.
people to fill the roles, have different kinds of cool powers, so it's not just so cookie cutters. I cannot. I tell you um you
Wow,
type in like Guardians of the Galaxy and you can't get past the MCU. It's killing me.
So I do like how the show on Disney Plus, it has nothing to do with actual his real origin. It's basically, it starts off as he's a kid and a fire starts. It's all about this fire, and he wants to keep that secret. And now he meets Trevor, and Trevor wants to get him into Wonder Man. I mean, Trevor's got his own nefarious reasons. He wants to stay out of prison, but I don't know. It just, at the first, I'm like, an actor that's a superhero, but he's not a superhero. But it really, I don't know. It did a lot better for me. Oh, there it is.
Yep. So yeah, I mean the stats make sense. He's taken some hits from some real heavy punchers, so the durability makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Even though he's died 500,000 times, having a high durability still makes sense for him.
That's probably why he lost the point, because he keeps dying.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
There needs to be a charisma stat on here too, though. I mean, come on.
I agree.
Yeah. It's funny that the energy stat must almost be solely on projection.
Yeah.
Because he's
Yeah.
literally made of energy. So I'm like, I'll do it too. But I think they were a little generous with the 4 on intelligence. Because I don't think he's brilliant. I think that his easy manipulation is a sign of not being the smartest guy, which is okay. You can still be cool and a great hero and not be the mad thinker. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
but I also don't know on that level what is average. We go to 7, so maybe 4 is just average intelligence.
Yeah. And speed and fighting skills. I mean, when you're that strong, you really don't need fighting skills.
Yeah, the speed is a little inaccurate because I know he can fly over 700 miles an hour.
Beast has an intelligence of 5. To give perspective on that.
Yeah, that's way too high for him then, for shit. I mean,
Yeah.
Beast is like almost genius level intelligence. What the hell?
Right. I wonder who would have an intelligence of 7 then.
They probably put Stark there, or 6 or 7. They probably put unless
think
they're
Beast could be up
going
there.
with like supernatural or like super powered intelligence, like the leader. Like you might have human genius level peaking at 5 or 6,
Oh,
and then
maybe.
enhanced intelligence like the leader or something like that might be your 7s. I don't know. I finally found that thing. It's when he was in the future in the Guardians of the Galaxy, his character went by the name Hollywood.
Hollywood.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. But it was a cool character because they didn't know who it was, because it's in the 31st century, I think, is the is when the Guardians of the Galaxy is way far in the future, and he's still alive. He's still doing his thing.
They give Stark a 6 intelligence.
6. So that's what's happening is they're just human peak intelligence is probably 6, and then when you get into super, what do they give the leader?
Yeah, the lead.
Let's see.
So I would probably be a 6.
What's that little dash in front of it mean?
Yeah. A little asterisk.
I can't find the leader.
The leader of the pack. Zoom, zoom.
What's his name? The leader's What's his name? Fuck, it's gonna
Huh.
kill me.
Hmm.
No, is Samuel Stearns. That's what it is. I couldn't get Howard out of my name because of Stern. I'm like, Howard? It's not Howard, but it's how thinking of Howard Stern. What killing me? But they actually had another group of Guardians of the Galaxy. So the original Guardians of the Galaxy weren't Star-Lord and everybody else. They were a crazy group of people where there was humans genetically engineered to survive on each planet in our solar system. So you had Martin X that was from Pluto. He had a crystalline form to survive the harsh elements. Charlie 27 was from Jupiter, so he was extremely strong because of the gravity there. There's other different characters like that. They were all from that, but that's was the general gist of it. Um, what the girl from Mercury? I can't think of her name offhand. But anyway, they formed a different team after they went. The Guardians kind of split up, and there was a new one called the Galactic Guardians that Martin X went off and led, and um, Hollywood joined that team. The older Wonder Man, which was kind of cool, it was him and the future Ghost Rider and the future Phoenix. Uh, they had a Scroll Girl in there. I can't think of her name offhand either. She was a cool character. Fire Lord. It was a neat group. Oh, they had in that future, Vision was a computer on a planet. He was basically a a computer, like a planet-sized computer called mainframe. That was an interesting uh, character too. I believe the Spirit of Vengeance in that one there was Frank Castle too.
Ooh.
In the future, Frank Castle had become the Spirit of Vengeance.
Okay, so leader is intelligence of 6.
How
Okay.
is that possible?
The only people who break 6 are people who are near omnipotent. So
Oh,
they say danger and brawn are two that are sometimes written in a way that they meet that level 7 intelligence.
gotcha.
Oh,
That Spirit of Vengeance was not the future Spirit of Vengeance. That was the Punisher. It was a different one. I'd forgotten that. But that's crazy. I
one
didn't.
thing I read.
I would not have put Danger as Intelligence 7. That's kind of crazy to me. Huh.
One thing I was reading while this is so DC got a little upset with Marvel with Wonder Man because they have Wonder Woman. So
Oh,
they say DC's basically they came up with Power Girl to go against Marvel's Power Man.
that's just so silly.
It,
It's like that's the whole reason that Captain Marvel, they would refer to him as Marvel, etc.,
Oh,
because there was a big
Captain Marvel.
hoopla with Shazam. Shazam was called Captain Marvel, so there was a big hoopla with that, like just petty little corporate
You know, it's
bickerings.
funny. I do like the DC and Marvel being apart, but there's sometimes I do like when they come together.
Yeah,
yeah.
there's a new
With
one
something
coming up.
like,
There's a Spider-Man Superman coming up.
yeah,
It's
I'm
supposed to be
actually
pretty good.
pretty darn excited about that.
Yeah.
There's a
I think I've mentioned it before. You ever heard of amalgam or amalgam? I butcher the word. Amalgam? Maybe it's amalgam. When you combine two things,
an amalgamation.
AMALGRAM, amalgam, yeah. But they
Yeah.
had amalgam comics. And basically they would take a character from Marvel and a character from DC and put them together as a new entity. And they had like Spider Boy, which was Superboy and Spider Man. It was
Oh,
really
didn't they
cool. They had
do
all kinds
Wolverine
of
Batman?
I think so.
Yeah.
They
There was a
have,
bunch.
yes, yeah.
Amalgam Comics had all kinds of cool stuff like that. Um, that's something sometimes we should actually do is if we could make our own like character from DC, character from Marvel, and put it together. Who would be our what would we do? What creature would we create there?
Sounds
Um,
like a nice if then.
yeah, it'd be fun. But they had a lot of neat one. They had Bruce Wayne, Agent of Shield. They had all kinds of neat stuff.
Oh, Speed
Yeah.
Demon, Ghost Rider, and the Flash.
Yeah,
That's
they're
pretty
wild
sick.
shit.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
Batman
cool.
Wolverine was Dark Claw.
Yeah.
Dark Claw.
Yep. They had
Superman, Captain
a
America, Super Soldier.
Yep.
That's
They had
great.
one called Bullets and Bracelets. It's the Punisher and Steve Trevor together fighting alongside of Wonder Woman as her sidekick,
That's cool.
which is kind of wild.
Interesting.
DC
I
Comics
just
did
picked up a comic.
a crossover event where they had they had like Mortal Kombat characters fighting against DC characters. They had a Homelander fighting against Superman. They had
Yeah.
what's the little puppet girl in horror movies like Annabelle or something like that?
Yeah, Annabelle.
They had that going against the Joker, and the Joker was like, I saw it move, I know it moved. And like nobody believes him. Everybody's fighting these huge threats, and the Joker's like, no, I swear that doll moved.
Nice. Well, speaking of the amalgam too, you should Laura, you specifically should look up Aurora of Themyscira. They did a Storm Wonder Woman blend
Ooh.
called Amazon. The name of the comic was Amazon, and holy crap, was that one neat! I didn't remember that till I just saw the picture. It was great art in that one. The Storm standing there in kind of the Wonder Woman uniform is just a great vision.
Oh yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, it was a sick one. Yeah. Yeah, Aurora of Themyscira.
I just
They had
picked
a
up a comic
neat
that's Dynamite Comics, Darkwing Duck and Gargoyles.
That'd
The
be
crossover.
cool. Gargoyles was awesome.
And
So
I've read the
short-lived.
X-Men
Yeah.
and Star Trek.
Yeah.
I really like that one.
Yeah, I really miss Gargoyles. I feel like we were robbed a lot of cool story in that. I would love to go back and have a lot more Gargoyles.
Yeah, I think the
There's a comic
animation
that I
ended up falling off really hard in the last season, right?
It did, and I don't know, they just had
They
weird
changed writers and stuff.
storyline got kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked it
didn't
because
mind,
a lot of the next generation
Mhm.
they were the voiceovers.
Yeah, I mean Riker was the primary antagonist. I mean,
Yeah.
kind of. He was kind of just a neat character, but
Troy was
Yeah.
Fiona.
mhm.
And
Yeah,
there
it was
was
a
a
great-
couple others.
Yeah. I don't know.
And
I
another
just-
comic I saw was Archie versus the Army of Darkness. So Ash Williams is in an Archie comic.
This is my Veronica stick.
That's great.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah, they do a lot of good stuff. So I wonder when, oh, you're stealing. We have Wonder Woman. You can't have Wonder Man. No,
Well, I think
let's
that-
work together. We make more money that way.
and the characters are more established now. Nobody's ever going to mistake Wonder Woman and Wonder Man as somehow being
Right.
even related in any way, shape, or form. It just
That's true.
Or even Power Man and Power Girl for that matter.
wildly different.
Yeah.
Power Girl's a weird character. She's basically a Supergirl. She is Supergirl from a different thing, but she doesn't look like Supergirl. Her personality's not like Supergirl. I don't know. She's strange. I'm not a big DC guy, so I've never really deep dived her much, but I always found that character just odd. So, yeah.
And
I don't know.
that was good. Having Kyle on months ago, just doing a DC deep dive on Darkseid, because you're right. I don't know much about DC whatsoever, so it's always nice to learn the new things.
Yeah, get that perspective
Yeah, I mean,
from somebody who knows what they're talking about with that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I go pretty hard into DC, but I just feel like DC makes a lot of bad choices, and I feel like their main like equivalent, their primary Earth, Prime Earth, or Earth Prime, whatever they call it, the 616 equivalent, is always unstable. Like there's always some new version of this hero, or there's something's changing. There's a new crisis, and
The
I just
Flash is
get really
always
tired of
fucking
that. I'm like,
something up with the timeline.
yeah, I'm
Oh, the
like,
Flash always.
and I just get it gets old with all of. I mean, I don't mind it as a one-off, split it off. You know what I mean? Or if you did it once, like they did with the Ultimate Universe in Marvel, you did it one time and it's a separate universe and we're running different comics. That's cool, but don't try to make it your main. Don't take and screw up Batman. You know,
Right.
don't take and screw up Superman. Just create a new thread or do something different with them. Don't alter them or try to make them more relevant by retconning their entire history. It just gets that's kind of my thing with they did with Nightcrawler. The retcon with his where he comes from. I like that Mystique and some demon had a kid and it was Nightcrawler. I think that's cool. But now you find out that Mystique is Nightcrawler's dad and Destiny is his mom. It's wild. I'm like what? What?
Speaking of
I got
Mystique, that's interesting. Yes, she can shape shifts, but she can shift anatomies.
Yeah, she
She
literally
she can get
become.
male parts. She can get female
Mhm.
parts that are very workable.
Yep. Yeah, that's honestly really greatly increases her powers
Oh
in
yeah.
in theory because that means if she takes on the form of something inhuman, then she's absolutely that thing too.
Hmm.
Capable of whatever. So yeah, Mystique's powers were um got underrated ever since they made that new change. And they did the same thing with Scarlet Witch and Pietro, Quicksilver. They were Originally they were Magneto's children, and now they are absolutely not. They're in no way, shape, or form related to Magneto. Magneto's only child that you really know about, other than ones they've had in one-off stories, is Polaris. Lorna Dane is actually Magneto's daughter. So who Polaris is?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
The
green-haired
green
one.
lady or the green
Yeah,
haired lady.
she was with Havoc. She was Havoc's
Yeah.
love interest for a long time in the comics. So, and she
She
was
broke Iceman's heart.
Yeah, she was a also a long-term host for
Oh,
Malice. Malice is a mutant like without a body that can inhabits other people and takes them over completely. And she was Malice for a long time. So there's been a few people who've had the Malice infection. So
yeah. We were talking a little bit about DC. One of these days, we're gonna have to talk about DC's number one hater, Reverse Flash. Man, as far as arc villains go, or bad guys in media, well, the Flash, a lot of his bad guys and his rogues gallery, like they have this kind of unspoken agreement, like they won't do anything too evil, and he won't go too hard on them. But the Reverse Flash, like, no, 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 I'm
Screw
gonna
it.
go back in time and I'm
No.
killing your mom, okay? Like,
yeah, yeah. Most of Flash's enemies are just criminals. They're not evil.
yeah,
There's no evil to them. They're just
Right.
criminals. They're just bad guys. They're not like there's nothing evil about them. They're just kind of
just
just
feels
whatever.
like
There's
they're
a
kind
few
of
of them, but
palling
for the most
around and
part,
like, all right, you're gonna be in jail for a couple of years till you
yeah.
break out. But
Okay.
no, the
Right.
Reverse Flash is like, no, I stole your girlfriend and killed your puppy. Like, he's so bad.
Yeah, he's awful. I remember when there was I was a real little kid. This comic stuck with me that the Flash in one of these the Flash killed the Reverse Flash in one episode in this issue, and this was back when they kind of felt like the two were tied, like they were kind of yin and yang. So there was like a connection, and he didn't understand how he could exist without the Reverse Flash. It was kind of a cool scene. They were running towards each other, and he basically clotheslined the Reverse Flash at super speed, snapped him up pretty good.
Oh,
But
The
yeah,
other thing the Flash does is he has that weird like hand thing where he sticks it in
yeah,
yeah.
stuff, and scrambles it or whatever. Uh, there was a storyline where it's like, okay, well, you can go back in time and kill baby, oh, his name's
Baby
Darkseid.
Barry.
Baby
Oh,
Darkseid, right? You know, the would you go back and kill baby Hitler question, right? And
Yeah.
it's like shows this very like solemn looking Flash, and like you see his hand vibrate or whatever, and it's like, did he do it? Did he not do it? Like he was really struggling with this idea, and you just see baby Darkseid's nose start bleeding, and ends the
Nice.
storyline. Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
or
But
baby Darkseid.
overall, like Flash is always such a
Or baby-
good guy, you know. I
Yeah.
most of the time he is
That's-
like the good guy.
I feel like yes, but he's also the stupidest good guy sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he's like, this is the right thing to do. I have to do it regardless of the consequences. I'm just not going to think about the consequences, even though I'm very intelligent. Like,
So there are two
We'll
ways
figure
you
it
can
out
take
later.
a
It's
character
okay.
like that, right? Like I'm gonna do stuff for the greater good. You could have like the really dumb version of that where the character's just like gets themselves into all sorts of hijinks, or you can have like the really smart version where someone's like, I'm gonna end humanity so we can stop suffering.
right. Been a few of those too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of times like I said, he makes these choices and has no, like being a time traveler in any way, shape, or form. The butterfly effect thing it has to be most prevalent in your mind.
Yeah.
You have to think about that, and he's just like, nah, I'm gonna go back and so greatly alter history that it's wildly different Earth. I'm like,
You know, say what you want
Yeah.
about the Flash, but he is definitely too dumb to possess the ability of time travel responsibly. That's for damn sure. There's been
I don't
so
think
many accounts.
yeah, in a using a time travel theory where changing the past alters the same dimension that we're in somehow instead of creating an alternate dimension. If that's accurate, then no human being should ever have time travel. Not that we would ever know if they did.
Yeah.
We would never know if they did because this
No.
is the only reality we've ever known. So it's like, I don't know. And if somebody has gone back and changed shit and this is what we ended up with, fuck them.
Go back
Whoever
and
that
do it
was.
again.
Barry Allen, get the fuck back there and
Wow,
fix it
Barry.
now.
Yeah, come on.
Oh my
it's just-
gosh.
Yeah, these abilities are some of them they have. Like I said, I don't feel like they flesh them. They don't flesh a lot of it out enough. They don't take it out to its furthest degree. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when you start thinking about it, it's stretching out to what they could actually do. You're like, oh, that's way too powerful. It's way too powerful. So
All right,
that's why
nerds.
they did that.
It's like any other Wonder Man stuff off the top of your head. I mean, he's
Yeah, bringing it back in.
such a character.
Do we recommend
Yeah.
the TV show?
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
I will say that it's a great show that happens to have a character with powers in it. That's how I would qualify it. I would not quantify it as a superhero show.
No,
Yeah.
you're right.
That-
It's a really good show inside the Marvel universe, but that it's not about being a superhero. Not until the very end, really.
yeah.
And even then, it's like a token thing to promise him to show that he's going to show up later or can show up later. It's the first time that I haven't minded that. It's because most of the time in these, let's have a more grounded superhero show. That's not why I'm here.
Yeah.
A grounded superhero show might as well be some cop show. Might as well be 911 or whatever. It's the same thing. It's just people being heroic on a street level. I'm here for superheroes. I want to see flying. I want to see laser beams. I want to see epic strength. I want to see all of these crazy things. I'm here for the powers. I'm here for a world where that exists and that that it shows up. I really feel like they don't think, for some reason, they've lost this connection between being able to tell us a good story in a huge fantastical world.
Budget.
They're like, oh, the powers are too much. We've got to do special effects in combat and everything else, and that'll carry this movie. No, you can still do that and have a great story. We showed that in the early MCU. We demonstrated that you could have all of these powers and write a good story. went to the wayside and started doing like just have this person show up and do super shit, and that's good enough. It's just I don't know. I'm really hoping with Doomsday and Secret Wars that they're bringing that connection back.
Yeah, I do think
So
they
we'll-
set up the end of Wonder Man to have more superhero superpower stuff in season 2.
Yeah.
But I don't
They
think there's even a
kinda opened
plan
that
for
box.
season 2. I don't think there's even a plan for season 2.
I think season
Yeah,
2 got
I-
greenlit.
Oh,
Yeah,
did
it's
it? I
taken.
thought I read that it wasn't original. It was supposed to just be a standalone, one-off thing.
Because I mean, they did set it up nicely. So if they
Oh,
do a season 2, it'll go right in.
As of February, the second season is very close to being greenlit by Marvel Studios due to the strong positive reception and lower production costs. Also, the
Always a
show
positive.
Frontrunner has expressed interest in returning as Simon Williams. Yeah, Disney talked about this show. There have been people from Disney talking about this show as kind of an answer to superhero fatigue, and I can kind of see that because it gets more to the acting and just experiencing the characters and building that more than the powers. I mean, for sure.
I agree. I just disagree with the term superhero fatigue. I'm not tired of superheroes. I'm tired of bad storytelling. I have bad storytelling fatigue. You know what I mean?
Fair.
And that's what I feel like. If you continue to tell good stories regarding and having superheroes be the characters, there's no fatigue. It's still a good story. You know what I mean? The fatigue is you were feeding us crap and expecting us to still applaud it just because it had Marvel Universe attached to it. It doesn't fly. Sorry, Kevin. It's just
Yeah, there's a
not
couple
how it
movies
works.
like that.
Yeah, and they were trying to target other
Green
audiences.
Lantern.
Yeah, you're making billions of dollars and you're trying to target other audiences all of a sudden. Why? Why? You're making $1 billion. You're making a target audience very happy. Why go wildly out of character and do damage to that target audience for what? I mean, I don't mind some different flavor and different coloring and stuff like that, but when things get wildly different and it doesn't even feel like the same thing, it just bugs me.
Yeah.
So
Well, it makes sense with the
Wayne, you froze
storytelling.
again, homie.
Yep, the camera's
Yeah,
not liking me today.
That's okay.
The
You have a
thinking
pretty
right now, you're
face. You're like, mm.
Yeah, at least I'm just, the last 2 times that's happened, at least it's been pointed right at the camera.
Yeah, you didn't get in
How
a
do I
weird
know?
face like,
I don't think yeah, like I've done that before where you pause the show and the one of the prettiest girl on the show is like,
yeah, they're blinking
you're
or
like,
something.
oh,
It's like,
I did you like that. But
Didn't need to
but
see
no,
that.
like, I noticed you weren't blinking. I'm like, Wayne's not blinking at all.
But
we'll
one
have to
thing is-
animate the mouth flaps when you talk for that part. Yeah.
That really bad layover they do to make the mouth.
I know what it is. It's because I was picking on Vargas about his camera. Now it's karma. It's karma on me.
It is.
Poor Wayne.
I've never had
Poor
problems before, but now I do.
Wayne. Yeah.
And every so often you go a little robo, like maybe your internet's having some issues. I'd reboot your router later. Give everything a cycle. Every so
One
often
thing
you
I
go-
noticed with Starfleet Academy, they said that each episode is $10 million to make. So for a whole season, it's a $100 million show.
Wow.
They're like, wow, that's incredible.
It is incredible, but we can't fathom like Paramount money. So I don't know what
true.
10 million is to them. I mean, that might be like it's still. I mean, it's a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, but it's not as much money to them as it is to us. So when they say $10 million an episode, to us
They're
that's
willing-
$10,000 an episode or something.
And they're willing to do that because they know they're going to make the money just from the subscribers.
Yeah.
They already know that they've already made $100 million. So let's make more money.
I've stayed subscribed specifically for Starfleet Academy. I let my subscription renew, and I'm gonna probably keep it till Starfleet Academy's done, and then we'll see. But
Yeah,
I've been liking
enjoy
Starfleet
Paramount.
Academy. It's good.
It's
Yeah.
great. I love it. And then now that they have the UFC streaming, contract, and so I can see every fight I ever want for free, or not for free, for the cost of my subscription. Even the numbered
Yeah.
ones, there's no pay-per-views, stuff like that. I've always enjoyed Paramount, but now I really do it. And John, have you not watched Strange New Worlds?
No.
Oh, that's
you
so
should
good.
watch that one.
Yeah.
Strange
You
New Worlds
should watch
you would
that one.
like.
Look,
Absolutely fantastic.
I haven't done a lot with Star Trek. I mean, most of my Star Trek watching, was either as a kid and, just like hardly remembering details about 7 of 9, but
Hardly remembering
yeah,
details.
yeah, hardly.
Yeah, and even the Picard series is really good.
Yeah.
I really like the Picard
Yeah.
series.
No-
In Discovery,
knowing-
I watched all of it because it's Star Trek and I had to. But that was one, if you don't watch it, I don't think you're missing much.
Yeah, you're not missing much. If you ever are going to start Strange New Worlds, we'll give you a 2-second blurb on how it was set up with a couple characters that you kind of need a little piece of information from Discovery. But
Okay.
it's pointless. It's 5 seconds of information. But just knowing what you enjoy and things like that through all of our conversations here, yep, Strange New Worlds you would greatly enjoy. You would really like the show.
Nice.
In Picard too, Picard is really good. There's a lot of data in Picard, which is really nice.
Yeah.
It's what Strange New Worlds does that I think you would enjoy is they're not afraid to get weird.
Yeah.
Like they had a musical episode.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Musical episode. And they try to make it like they give it a legit reason. Like they're infected with something that is affecting their brain, causing them to communicate through song rather than like they really kind of science it out, which is still funny, but I don't know. Like they're just like, what the hell? Fucking throwing a musical Star Trek episode in there. It was just. I mean, I don't know if it was a great episode or not, but I just applaud their willingness.
I liked it.
Yeah,
I did too. I said that, but it's a great series.
Yeah.
It really
Just
is.
like,
And it's not
Lower-
usually that humorous.
Lower
and it's-
Decks you would probably like too.
yeah.
Oh,
I gotta
yeah.
watch Lower Decks. I've heard so many good things about that.
Yeah.
And Lower Decks crosses over with Strange New Worlds.
Yeah.
There's actually the thing they did that was so cool is the voice actors from half of the episode happens on Lower Decks and half of the episode happens on Strange New Worlds. The voice actors actually play themselves in the live action.
That's cool.
Like Boimler, one of the characters in there is actually Jack Quaid, who I don't know if you've seen him in some movies, but he was the voice actor and he was in Strange New Worlds.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool, and the whole thing takes place on a world that was discovered in the original series. So it was good. That was a neat episode. I thought that was really kind of interesting. So
yeah, I'm
There's another
watching through
series
the.
that's called-
Go ahead.
There's another series called Prodigy. I'm not positive, unless you're a Star Trek lover, you may not like that one. I liked it a lot. It's got
I don't
Kate
even know.
Milgrom back.
I don't think you'd have to even have watched a Star Trek episode to like or to know Prodigy, other than know who Janeway is.
Okay.
And-
I know who Janeway is.
Not Star Trek.
And I really liked Prodigy. I thought it was really good.
It was interesting, but I never really got hooked on it. I thought it was interesting and just didn't. But I never like the one character, the daughter who was on the ship, the daughter of the big bad that was on the ship. That character, I wish they would have made her the main character versus the kid. I think she would have been a better main, because the kid kind of bugged me.
Yeah.
He's always doing dumb shit.
Well, that was him though. He's the
I
one who
know,
did
but
dumb
I
shit.
just didn't like him. I think that's it. Even if a character is written exactly like they're supposed to be, and I just don't happen to like his personality, it kind of ruins my attraction to the show. I just don't like the person. I just don't like the
Bargo
character.
liked it. He said it played on all the Star Trek lore. So
Yeah.
Yep.
It did.
I was gonna say I've been watching the new season of
Lower Decks,
Trigun that they just put out, and this new season has really put it a lot more in the sci-fi realm versus the desert outlaw gunslinger type realm. There's like spaceships fighting and like that type of stuff on this deserted planet. So They've really been ramping it up and ramping the sci-fi aspect of that up. So I recommend
cool.
anybody's big into sci-fi, Trigun Stampede, and then the new season that came out. It's really good. I like it.
I've got them flagged. I've got them flagged over there, and planning on watching them once I catch up on a couple things. So
Speaking of
I
anime, Ryban, when we did that promo, remember she told us about 2 animes, and one of them was the eating the food in the dungeon.
Delicious in Dungeon.
Yeah, Delicious in Dungeon is the one. That's the one I mentioned to her, and then
And
she
then
talked about really liking it. What was
There
the
was
other
a
one?
second one I can't remember.
Fuck.
Yeah, I can't remember what the second
I
one
honestly,
was.
I think I made a note of it. That's why I'm
Okay.
looking here.
I hope you did, because it sounded she really talked it up like, "Ooh, I really wanna watch this," and I can't remember what
Okay.
it's called.
See, that's my
Delicious in
problem.
Dungeon,
Is
right?
I have problems talking some of this stuff up. I'm like, yeah, you know what? If you don't like it, you don't like it. I mean, I just roll over on it really easy.
Did I text it to you? Where did I note that? I didn't text it to you, did I?
No, no.
Nah.
Oh, well, we'll think of it, or I'll get a hold of her and I'll let you know.
Yeah, you'll see her.
Because they both sounded. She really talked to both of them.
Nice. So that was a good meet and greet with some peeps in the nerd
yeah.
sphere.
It was. It was obviously frigid, so it wasn't a big a turnout as I think they hoped, but it was still fun to get our feet wet in doing something promo for this channel, and I had a good time doing it.
Nice.
Was it Campfire Cooking in Another World?
That's it. That's it.
Yep.
Campfire Cooking.
Campfire Cooking in Another World. Yep, Campfire Cooking. That was it. That was the other one with My Absurd
Have you
Skill.
heard about that one, Seraph?
I'll have to check that out. I that one I'm
Yeah.
not sure that I've heard of. Let me see.
Yeah, it's Campfire Cooking in Another World with My Absurd Skill. That's the name of it.
That's right, because it had like a long title.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've seen some of it. It's okay. It's a little bit cutesy. It's not as action packed. The main character is he cooks, and he has like an inventory system where he can buy things from the real world.
Right.
And bring them into this fantasy world. And so he's introducing these gods and these beasts and creatures to, this delicious food. And he's like, hey, I'll keep cooking for you if you help me survive in this, awful place. So it's okay. It's a little campy in some areas. I'm more of a fan of solo leveling. If you go in like the Isekai, which is the genre that is, where you take somebody from the normal world and put them in like a fantasy world. Solo leveling, I think, is an awesome example of that in a way. But yeah, no, it's a pretty cool show. I would say give it a shot. Yeah,
It's interesting. I haven't seen it, but I love Delicious in Dungeon.
yeah.
I think Delicious in Dungeon is hilarious and fun, and
If
got
you
a
like
great story.
Delicious in Dungeon, this is close, but not as good. It's close though.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
But Delicious in
has the
Dungeon had a
same
bit more
feel.
action type stuff in there, and and plus there was a real plight to the people, like they're doing it.
I like the
But
dwarf in that. That's my favorite character. He's so good.
He's that face structure of that guy that he's in every anime has that guy. That character is always one of my favorite characters in any anime, in classic anime. It's like you always have the lunk character in classic anime. You always have like the lunk character. You have the little small person. It's just I don't know. I just like that stuff.
Yeah. Freyren is if you're really big into like D&D and that stuff, Freyren is phenomenal. I can't recommend that one high enough. The backgrounds and some of the animation reminds me of Studio Ghibli in a lot of ways. But a lot of it, the themes are more about loss, because you're talking about this elf character who's been alive for 400 years, and she was a part of this adventuring party that beat the big bad. And you're kind of like, you're walking through a new adventure she's going through, but through this adventure, she's remembering like all of the things that she didn't quite experience as much as she maybe could have while they were happening with that previous party. And just like, it's very like retrospective look, and like how an aged race would kind of view their life and the different parties that they travel with. Freerun's great. It's really good.
Yeah, I just popped it up. I'm gonna check it out because that looks. I like the animation style of that one
Yeah,
a
it's
lot.
really cool. Yeah. It's not a
Looks
big
pretty.
combat one. Look, if you're looking for dumb combat, uh solo leveling is the go-to. It's so good
Yeah.
for just dumb combat show. You know, they tell you, you know, hey, this is what's happening. You know, after like 2 episodes, you kind of get an idea what's going on. There's some mystery to it a little bit, but there's just a lot of bright shiny colors, and so it's fun that way.
Yeah, like because I'm really addicted to this new. It's almost like American anime, like the Vox Machina,
Yeah.
Invincible, um, uh, the Mighty Nine. That animation, it's almost like a hybrid between anime and you know the animation in the United States. It
Yeah.
almost reminds me of a maturation of the old like heavy metal animation. You remember the heavy metal movie? You ever watch that? You ever see that?
And, yeah,
Oh,
that's a very good
you,
movie.
yeah, you should watch Heavy Metal. It's like
Yeah.
a '70s animation.
Yep.
It's neat. It's different. It's basically this orb is traveling through the universe, and it's you get a story from places that it's visited. It's neat.
Oh, okay.
It's a
Yeah,
different type of movie, but it's good.
it is. It's different,
You
but
know,
it's interesting.
a lot of the Vox Machina and some of that animation, I think it was like, I know it was spawned from like Critical Role and you know that kind of
Mhm.
group, but I think that the Americanized anime style really started with Avatar: The Last Airbender. That anime, that was like one of the first like major United States based animes that came out. And it was really good. Like, I mean, it's
Yeah,
made for kiddos, but it was a really good show, and I think it
it's
really
fantastic.
opened the market up for you know, uh, United States to kind of make this stuff. So
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I watched Avatar. I really enjoyed it, but I never looked into like the creation of it. I assumed it was Japanese.
yeah, yep,
I assumed it was anime that we just we just brought it over. I didn't realize that it was actually created here.
yep, yep.
So applaud to them. And then like I said, I just like did you ever watch Blue Eyed Ninja?
No.
Oh, you should really watch Blue Eyed Ninja. It's a newer one. That one's got a great story. I think it's Blue Eyed Ninja. Blue Eye Samurai. Blue Eye
Oh
Samurai,
yeah,
not Blue
yeah,
Eyed
yeah.
Ninja.
You brought that one up. That one, the animation kind of reminds me of some of the Animatrix stuff. Did you see the Animatrix?
Yeah, yeah, yep. But
Yeah,
that one, the animation is good, but the story in that is top notch.
yeah,
Top notch story in that. It's
nice.
crazy. But yeah, that's another one that I just think was a great. But yeah, I'm just really enjoying this that animation is where it's at now that we can see like sometimes I get a little like a lot of times when there's like certain types of scenes in the animation, I'm not as invested as I want to be. Now I am. Now these scenes look a little more visceral, a little more like there's actually like something happening. It doesn't look like two cartoon characters, banging heads. Like there's actual like I feel like the actual like impact. I feel like the movement is better. The physics of it is better. So it seems more like I can relate to it more. So I
True,
like that a
true.
lot.
You know, and
Yeah.
a lot of the anime is like ditched a little bit of that slapstick humor where the character gets like a gigantic head and like steam comes out of it, and it's just takes you completely out of like a serious plot
Yeah.
line. You know, it's moved a
Yeah.
lot away from that and more towards, you know, serious storylines and um all that. So yeah, absolutely good stuff.
It is good stuff.
Good stuff.
Yep.
You've been
A
talking
lot of
about solo leveling for a long time. I just got to dive right in and love it.
yeah.
It looks like something because I think I got turned off in the beginning because you have to read the subtitles, correct?
I think there's an English version out at this point. There has to be.
Okay. Yeah, that was something I was like, sometimes my attention
Fair.
isn't there. And if I have to read subtitles the whole time, what
Yep.
was that? That movie in the 90s, The Passion of Christ, that you had to read the whole movie. And I've never seen it because I can't do it.
You're like, oh my
It was
gosh, I
not
have
the-
to
it
read
was-
this, and it's about the Bible. My God.
Right.
Subtitles that kept me away from that movie. Yeah, I'm the same way. I used to love watching. I hated dubbing. It was just terrible. So I used to watch a
Godzilla.
lot of anime with subtitles. Now my ADHD is just off the charts, and I have to be doing 50 things, so I miss half the story because I'm not reading.
The dubs are so much better
but-
now than they ever were in the
Yeah,
past.
that's what-
They're so much better.
That's what I'm discovering. What's the lady at the comic book store's name? Wayne?
Gloria.
Look, Gloria. She was talking about that too, how much better the dubbing is now, and because inference and stuff like that is so important in Japanese language. Like you can't just directly translate it. You can't.
No.
You can't be. You have to get what's going on emotionally, and then translate it. So I guess they're doing a better job at that now. I have much more optimism when checking some of this stuff out. So.
Yep, absolutely.
But cool.
All right, nerds. Hey, it's
Nerds.
been an awesome episode. We've definitely talked about Wonder Man the entire time. No squirreling off at all for us.
The whole time.
The
whole
whole time.
Dude.
Man, it's a wonder.
Did we squirrel a little?
Did we?
We should call these episodes "Squirreling with the Nerd Pow Wow."
Yeah, how about it? Oh my gosh. All right, guys. Well, it's been an awesome episode. Thanks everybody for hanging out in the chat.
Yeah, thanks for
Everybody
coming in.
contributing in there, and everybody watching on YouTube, listening on Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure you follow us. Make sure you drop a like. Do all that awesome stuff. We appreciate
Ring that bell.
all you guys. Ring the bell. Do it all. Do it all up. Subscribe. Everything.
Ding, 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 ding.
We love you guys.
love you
That's the
guys.
Nerd Pow Wow out. See ya.
Bye, nerds.
Bye.
Well, step aside and watch how my adoring fans flock to me.